guys, welcome to a new episode of Graduate Journey. Today we have with us Mr. Arhant. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Arhant. I'm uh, from the Cathedral and John Connon School. I'm in the 12th grade and I got into NYU for in early decision one, and I'm graduating from NYU in 2026. I applied for political science, but I plan to like transfer to business and do a major in business and a minor in politics.
Okay, so our first question is, what are all the colleges you applied to other than NYU, of course?
So yeah, I did ED at NYU, and then I did early to some of my safeties, which were Northeastern, Purdue, and UMass Amherst. I got into UMass Amherst with scholarship, but the rest I had to withdraw. And then my other colleges, which I was really interested in, were Babson, which I applied to, USC, and then I applied to UCLA and UC Berkeley, but then all my other colleges I had to withdraw, and I didn't apply to any of the any other targets because that was regular decision.
So as you mentioned earlier, you would like to transfer like your major to business. So, do you have any future goals or career prospects as of now, or would you just like to take it like as it goes?
Yeah, so I think I'll take it as it comes. I know I'm really interested in like business and politics, so I'll do a combination of something in that.
So did the subjects you take in school like largely influence what major you want to do in college, or were they two separate interests?
Yeah, so I think it was because of IB became so interested in this. So first I was in ICSE and I didn't have any of these subjects, but when I took IB, like I was always interested in politics, but after taking business and global politics, I loved the subject so much that I knew that I want to do this in the future.
Okay, and if you don't mind, could you just tell us like what your HL and SL subjects were
So
in
my
IB?
HL subjects were global politics, computer science, and business management. And my SL subjects were English, Lit Lang, Math AA, and Hindi.
Okay. So what did you take any AP courses or
I
any
didn't,
extracurriculars as such? No.
I didn't do any extra credit classes.
What about like did you go to any hackathons or competitions to help with like your compute with like
Yeah,
your
so
political science interest?
Yeah, so I I I love computers, although I'm not studying it in the future. So I completed a postgraduate course on ethical hacking, which I was one of the youngest people in Maharashtra to do it with the Indian Cyber Institute. So I helped them and the Pristine with their operations while I was like learning from them. And I took part in like a lot of coding competitions. So I won the Google Code to Learn competition in 2018 and the Wiz Juniors competition. Like for a few years, I was doing that, and I did well in that as well. Sorry, all that added to my extracurriculars as well.
What extracurriculars did you do like other than the coding competition?
Yeah, so I wrote two research papers which got published. So one on the rise of crude oil prices, which was a mix of business and politics, and the other was how there's a which not many people really know about, and that was focused on like politics. And then yeah, I was the IT head for Encore. That's the music festival in Cathedral, and for Cathedral Mon, I was the IT head as well, so I had to manage the whole IT team.
Okay,
So
that's
mainly on that. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So, CAS, I think, is another very big deal for a lot of high schoolers who want to get into good colleges. They all think that CAS is so important. So, my question is, what did you do for CAS and how did you go about doing it? Since at first it seems like such a daunting task.
So CAS, you should do your CAS in such a way that you can use it as your extracurriculars in college. So I completed a lot of my community service through CAS. We made a group and we taught many people, taught girls from the slums of Bombay English online, and with the Angel Express Foundation. And then from the Down to Earth found, we also had the Down to Earth Foundation, which was my collaborative project to do creative writing classes online for underprivileged children. Then, yeah.
So would you can you give like can you give us some advice on how you would go about doing it? So would you suggest doing cast in a way that culminates like your interests, or would it really matter, or would it not matter if it was like about a separate thing in general? So I can give you an example. So for example, if I'm really interested in coding, okay, and I want to get into a good comp sci university, should I be doing a cast that incorporates those skills to show the university, or are those two things really not connected?
No, you should definitely, like, CAS is a requirement by IBs, and you can do anything which counts as CAS, whether it's coding. So if you can use that coding to show the university, oh, I've done this as an extracurricular, so it counts as an extracurricular and CAS. You get your CAS hours, right? So because the uni doesn't see your CAS, it asks you for a list of 10 extracurriculars. So you're technically getting it on both those streams. You're finishing your CAS hours and the uni seeing, oh, he's applying for computer science. He's done this coding competition. So his extracurriculars relate to his major. So that's important as well.
Okay. So, other than that, do you think that there were any key things like leadership roles that you took on in your school or outside school that helped in your college application?
Yes, so mentioned I like I was the head of information technology for my MUN and the music festival in school. So those were quite good leadership roles, leadership roles. And then I did an internship with actually a solar powered company where I learned how solar lamps and how sustainability is actually so prevalent for the future, and how it can be, and how certain buildings which are existing on uh, normal electricity can be converted to solar. So when I did that internship, I understood about sustainability and solar power. So in my community service, I actually linked that to, because I have a farmhouse in Alibag and I've seen how, like, all the villagers and the people, the locals over there face the problem of the shortage of electricity. So because of my knowledge in my internship, I created a community service project where I like distributed solar lamps and taught them how to use it and use electricity from that. So it's always good to kind of link your extracurriculars if you're doing it to your community service as well.
Okay, so that was really helpful. So, another major question that most people have is how to manage their time, because when you actually think about it, there are quite a few things, right? There's, of course, your grades, which take precedence. Then there's your CAS community service, your extracurriculars, then anything else like a sport, a music instrument. So, how could you give us some advice on how we like people on how students should manage their time?
So obviously I'm an IB, and I think you will know IB is hard work. Academics take up a lot of time, but you also have to find time. You have to find time in your day, because you can't spend the whole day studying. So you have to find time in your day to do other things. And I think and people in IB need to utilize their holidays quite effectively. So between 10th and when I went to 11th, I think we had a longer break. So that was the time I finished my internship, etc. And then in my summer between 11th, 12th, I finished most of my community service projects. So it's good to utilize the time you get before IB in the holidays to finish all this, because it all counts. Everything adds up. And because when you start your IB journey, the academics take precedence and you have to give it precedence.
So I think that's a really important skill that all students should learn, as you said. Could you please explain the process of like writing a college essay? because a lot of, like, from what I've learned, a lot of people get written by someone else. So what would be the difference, like, instead of getting someone else to write it, and you writing yourself, is that advantageous, or
I think
is there
it's
much of a
always
difference?
advantageous when you write it yourself, because I wrote my essay myself and I could relate to my essay a lot. Like I really related to my essay. And because of that, I felt my essay was good. And that's why I think my essay was a huge part of my application and why I got into NYU. But like I know so many other people who got their essay written from someone else, but they could simply not relate to it. And I think the uni can also look through that gap if someone else writes it for you, because they know they can kind of understand that this essay is not you. So I would always suggest that you write your essay on your own. And like I feel the essay is quite important. I spent a large amount of time on my essay to like make sure each word was proper. So I feel academics is the most important, and then I feel comes your essay and your extracurriculars.
So, a little bit more about the essay. So, you said that it took you quite a while. So, another question would, like, related to the essay, would be how long should, like, a person give to the college essay, and also how formal should it be? Because the thing is that, I've seen cases of some people refining the essay to such an extent where their personality is not in it anymore, and it's literally just like, it's like a job application. So, what
So
would
yeah,
be
that's
your
the main
advice on
point.
that?
So on the first question, I think you should start your Common App essay, and if you know your major universities in your summer vacation before you come into the 12th, that's when I started, and I think it was a good time frame to work through that in August. And that's the main point. You need your personality to reflect through your essay, but you also need a degree of formality. It can't be too formal or it can't be too casual, right? So my essay was why NYU? Why do I want to come to NYU, right? So I spoke about first my major and why I'll benefit doing my major in NYU. So how I'm really interested in politics, why, what all I've done, and why would doing politics in NYU help me, or how would it be advantageous? So I brought that throughout my essay.
Uh, okay, so this is the last question. Do you have any final tips for, like, creating a college profile in general, like not only the
Yeah.
essay but just
So
everything?
my tip is focus on your 11, 12 marks. So I was I was a really average student in the 9, 10th. Like in ICSE, I used to get 65, 70, 75% in my school exams. But in my boards I got in the 90s, but when I came to IB I really focused, studied a lot, and I did well. I got 7 in all my HLs, etc. So that matters the most, and I think that played a big role for unis to see that upward curve in my marks. So I think people should really focus on their uh, IB grades and their essays.
Thank you so much. I think that was really helpful.
Hi guys, if you'd like a one-page PDF summary of this interview with the key extracurriculars, competitions, leadership positions, classwork, and also updates on the new videos, there's a Google form link in the description. Once you fill it out, we can send it to you. Thank you.